Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest distractions right now around crypto, and that is of course the FTX situation. Listen, we are still hearing about it. It is becoming a big media attention, sort of, I would say, view grab. But one thing that I have noticed is the fact that we are getting distracted from the bigger picture here. And let's talk about that. So we do see here from Gold Telegraph, the world of crypto is almost like a movie at this point. Meanwhile, central banks continue to stockpile gold at record speed. Tell me, what is the more significant theme right now? Central banks are taking huge unrealized losses, but stockpiling gold? Why? We have been focused on this area for a while. Initially, I told you guys that we are going to be seeing a collapse of the financial system so that we could usher in this new financial system that is going to be backed by gold, issued out on DLTs. And what is that? Well, that is central bank digital currencies. I do believe that central bank digital currencies will be backed by gold. They will be issued out on DLTs, private and public, and they are going to usher in wholesale and retail-based CBDCs. Very concerning. I've focused on this so much on this channel because it is a very concerning subject. If they do usher in these CBDCs, it is going to ultimately take away all of your privacy. It's going to control your everyday life, and I think everyone should be focused up on this. We continue to give FTX a grounding, around attention, and it only makes this space look more and more risky day by day. What we need to focus on right now is the bigger picture around FTX. First off, it was a full-on, it was an attack on crypto more so. That it was organized by these higher-ups that wanted to see crypto fall and fail. It was a big push for regulations as well. And again, this is all to benefit them around CBDCs. We've been focused on a few things as well around the world as we do see the current financial system breaking. Breaking news. Ratings agency Moody's is warning that Argentina's rising central bank debt poses systemic risk to financial sector. Read that again. In a report, Moody's said central bank interest-bearing debt had increased significantly relative to GDP in the last 2 years. Then over here, we also do see U.S. distillate stocks, which include diesel and heating oil, are now at their lowest level since 1951 for this time of the year. Nothing to see here. And then over here, Federal Reserve Bullard says rate hikes have had only limited effects on inflation so far. You can print more diesel. The interesting thing about inflation is that they will never tell you the actual percentage. We've been focused on a few things. This goes back to December of 2020 to December of 2021, and things have only gotten worse since then. And here is the rising cost of fuels, used cars, lodging lead, all that kind of stuff. You could see it even around beef steaks, beef roast. I just went to the grocery store yesterday actually, and the prices of meat was astronomically higher than what I remember it. You're looking at a container of chicken breast, $21. Steak is now at like $32 a pound. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they continue to say that inflation is only 9%. Well, now it's like 7.7%. They're saying that it's starting to ease. I haven't seen easing at all. In fact, my electric bill just went up again. They're charging me more per kilowatt an hour. And again, it's like, what is actually going on here? Because they don't want to tell you the actual percentage. Even over here from the USDA, they're talking about food prices from 2022 and 2023. They're looking at things dropping actually. It's comical because there's no way that inflation is going to get better right now. I just don't see how things are going to get better. But they do say in 2023, all food prices are predicted to increase between 3 and 4%. Food at home prices are predicted to increase between 2.5 and 3.5. And food away from home prices are predicted to increase between 4 and 5%. This is significant. And again, this is just food. This isn't, utilities, gas prices, things like that. It is significant. Things are starting to increase drastically, and we even do see over here, like in 2022, all food prices are now predicted to increase 9.5 to 10.5%. Food at home prices are now predicted to increase between 11 to 12, and food away from home prices are predicted to increase 7 to 8. I mean, honestly, the price of food and the cost of living is increasing drastically. This is also why I've said, like, if you have investable income, if like you have residual income to invest, or I should say disposable, then you should consider yourself lucky. A lot of individuals out there are extremely in rough situations. And we do see over here as well from Gold Telegraph breaking news: the European Central Bank is warning of rising stability risk for everyone from lenders to governments and households. Nobody is surprised. The cost of living squeeze is hurting people's ability to service debts, while Europe's worsening growth prospects threaten corporate profits. Again, this is why I've been telling you guys to focus on things that are a bigger picture than FTX. Yes, I do think that the entire FTX situation, around corruption should 100% be talked about. I think that that should definitely be, a big spotlight, for the attention of individuals around crypto and even outside of crypto, because, FTX was not caused by the risk of crypto. It was caused because of the risk of outsiders trying to come into crypto and manipulate this entire market. The entire FTX situation was a complete and utter example of why we need DeFi. We need decentralization. We can't have individuals controlling the system. I just seen a thing on Twitter around FTX where they were basically saying like Alameda could not be liquidated. There's a code in their system where Alameda could not be liquidated, but everybody else could. I mean, this is why we need DeFi. We can't have individuals controlling these exchanges, controlling the things around this market. And I've, of course, talked about the corruption around FTX. I think that it was one big insider job to try to look like, to try to make crypto look like it was some big risk area that you should stay out of crypto. You should not invest your money into crypto. And they, again, you could see why they want to attack crypto at this point, as they are talking about CBDCs. And we do see over here, this is the big one that I talked about just the other day. This was a clear insight to me on what was going to be happening around this market. So we do see global banking giants are starting a 12-week digital dollar pilot with the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. It is all starting to fall into place. Remember when everyone cheered when the banking community was jumping into the crypto world? And, when we look at this is a concerning area, because as we do see these central banks jumping into crypto and these major central banks stockpiling massive amounts of gold, you could clearly see their end goal morphing into reality. They want to utilize DOT for CBDC issuance. They want to issue out CBDCs backed by gold, and they want to control your everyday life and take away your privacy. And they're going to do this by utilizing this FTX situation for strict regulations, come into the space and control this space. They will stop retail from being able to be in crypto. And this is a very concerning thing to look at and focus on. And we do see over here, Swiss gold exports to China and Turkey stay strong. Switzerland in October exported 43.7 tons of gold worth around $2.4 billion to mainland China. Gold continues to move from west to east. Again, another indicator on why I say that the US dollar is not going to be the reserve currency. The reserve currency is going to move from the west to the east. And we are already kind of seeing that happening right now. And I've been focused on this for so long because it is such an important area to focus on, as everything is kind of morphing into reality at a very fast pace too. This is, I'm telling you guys, do not get distracted by everything within this market where they are telling you, hey, FTX was this, FTX is that, and then you have the mainstream media trying to, turn it around and say, hey, Sam Bankman-Fried, although he was a terrible guy, I would still reinvest in him, like Kevin O'Leary was saying. This just makes the entire industry look like a complete joke. It makes, crypto look like it's, a high-risk area, especially for retail. And we need to really kind of, listen up and focus on the bigger picture here. The bigger picture is the fact that central banks are moving into major gold areas that want to focus on gold-backed CBDCs issued out on private DLTs to utilize them against us. And this is a very concerning area to focus on. When you see the central bank of almost every country in the world owns gold except Canada. A tragic comedy. Since 1995, 46,000 tons of gold have gone from the west to the east, and the buying continues. Again, everything is happening so swiftly. You could easily see it. And again, as we do focus on this, a lot of people have been asking me, like, where do you see Ripple playing a role with this? The XRP ledger. These ledger technologies are going to be the main power source behind CBDCs. Now, you might be wondering, well, like, doesn't that make Ripple and XRP, like, bad for the industry? No, I mean, it's just the idea that DLT is going to be utilized. This is why I do believe that we are seeing a lot of regulations being talked about. In fact, we just talked about this a little bit ago where I was talking about how regulations will essentially be streamlined. What we do see over here, this is from XRP Darren, Fame 21 More. The regulations were already decided by the G20 and the USA has taken its time. FTX is now a catalyst to implement these laws. Listen closely to this.
Exchange that's operating abroad. I mean, that's the other piece of this. As long as this is a global business and we have these tokens operating in other places, no matter what, to some degree, it's going to rebound and redound to us.
I mean, this is it's a huge issue. Gary and I participate in a lot of multilateral organizations with other jurisdictions, and crypto regulation has been a high priority for several years right now. You're right, the sort of borderless nature of the technology makes it even harder than traditional financial markets, whether it's on the security side or the derivative side. Certainly swaps markets are very international in nature, but there has to be coordination among the international regulators. Ultimately, though, having a regulatory structure within the U.S., which I think has to be the priority, would then prevent, by law, both on the civil side and the criminal side, of having these, issuers, these exchanges offering services to U.S. customers.
I would sum it up saying that we have an international consensus in the G20 and in the FSB. And the key challenge now is to implement it in each major jurisdiction. We did it in Europe. We have a so-called MiCA regulation, including for stable coins. The so-called crypto winter of early 22 should not be an excuse for complacency. On the contrary, it's time to act.
The Bank de France governor just let you know that the group of 20 of the largest countries have already decided what crypto regulations will be. The EU has already acted with MiCA regulations. The rest of the G20 will follow.
And this is happening right now. We are seeing a big move towards regulations around crypto. This was a huge catalyst for it. FTX was a big pre-planned event that was organized by these elites to take control of crypto. I want you all to pay attention to this because this is concerning. This is a big concern to me because as we look at things happening around crypto, we need to make sure that we don't bring in regulations that are ultimately here to kill this industry. Because, again, they want to utilize crypto technology, but they are trying to get to the point where they could utilize crypto technology without benefiting you or me. They don't care about retail. All they care about is the benefits for them. These central banks, these higher-ups around the financial sector, they want to utilize crypto tech for CBDC issuance, and they want to get us on a CBDC system, this new financial system that is going to be backed by gold so that they could take away our privacy and our control around finance. And we just recently talked about this as well with the ECB, with the digital euro. The digital euro is probably one of the most terrifying plans that we've seen because they want to control everything and put a limitation on everything that you could do with your money. Focus up and pay attention to everything that is happening as we are seeing these big distractions around crypto with FTX. I'm telling you guys right now, crypto is not going anywhere. In fact, I would argue that they want to utilize crypto. The entire, this move from the New York Fed with all of these major giants, they're all utilizing R3 Corda, which is a private ledger basis. This is crazy to me. And I want you all to understand that when we look at things like this, they are trying to strip us of our freedom around money. Do not listen to all the distractions. It is all noise for now. Pay attention to things that are happening behind the scenes of these distractions that were utilized to take your attention away from the true facts. And the true facts are they are here, they're ready, and they're moving fast on implementing this new financial system that is going to be the Great Reset, and they are going to take away your privacy and control. And with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.